நம்முடைய தமிழ் மொழி உலகிலேயே மிகவும் தொன்மையான மொழி எந்த தேசத்திடம் இருக்கின்றதோ அந்த தேசத்திடம் பெருமிதம் பொங்க வேண்டுமா கூடாதா சொல்லுங்க.
செம்மொழி வலையொலி யூடியூப் சேனல். இந்த சேனலின் மூலமாக, அந்த வலையொலியின் மூலமாக பல்வேறு தகவல்களை தினந்தோறும் நாங்கள் வழங்கி கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த நிலையில் சிலப்பதிகாரம் என்ற தலைப்பில் ஒவ்வொரு பகுதியாக வழங்கக்கூடிய அந்த தொகுப்பை முழுமையாக கண்டு பார்க்கலாம்.
The title of this paper is Didactic Writings in Tamil, Greek and Latin. This is a comparative study of Mundurai Arayanar's Mudumozhi Kanji, Hesiod's Works and Days in Greek and Cato's couplets in Latin, both with regard to the quality and quantity of didactic literature. Tamil far outweighs Hebrew, Greek, Latin and Sanskrit. This has been explicitly acknowledged by foreign missionaries and scholars such as Besky, Reverend G.U. Pope and F.W. Ellis, who were all so impressed with Tirukkural that they translated it into Latin or English. Having been fascinated by Tirukkural, Naladiyar, Nanmanikadigai, Inna Narpadu, Iniyavai Narpadu, Moodurai and Nalvazhi, with which he was well acquainted, F.W. Ellis observes, among the various and excellent works in which the Tamil language abounds to a degree excelled by no Asiatic and by few European languages, none are more remarkable than what may be described as treating on the nature of human existence, the various natural forms and conditions of this life. That is what F.W. Ellis says about the didactic writings in Tamil. Translating some of the folk songs of southern India, Charles E. Gower states, it will be seen that the Dravidian peoples possess one of the noblest literatures from a moral point of view the world has seen. Having in mind the ethical writings in Tamil, Reverend P. Percival had earlier said, perhaps no language combines greater force with equal brevity, and it may be asserted that no human speech is more close and philosophic in its expression as an exponent of the mind. The language, thus specific, gives to the mind a readiness and clearness of conception, whilst its terseness and philosophic idiom afford equal means of lucid utterance. Caldwell was certain that in the department of ethical epigrams, Sanskrit has been outdone by Tamil. In the classified catalogue of Tamil printed books, the following statement by Murdoch affirms how the ancient Tamils were aware of the superiority of the Tamil works on the art of living over anything else in Sanskrit. The Vedas have never been translated into Tamil. The writings of Abbayar, Thiruvalluvar and other poets form the real moral and religious code. They are taught in every native school and their dicta are received as infallible truths. The bulk of the verses are unobjectionable. This is what the critics, the scholar says. Some of them are of great beauty and excellence. The unique grandeur of the ethical writings in Tamil is that, unlike their counterparts in other classical languages, they swear by the oneness of mankind and take all aspects of human life into consideration. In their focus on life here and now, in their rejection of all superstitious beliefs about how the world came into being and how and when it is going to end, and about what happens to earthly beings before birth and after death, in their indifference to wild conjectures relating to the nature of man-God relationship, in their unwavering advocacy of virtues which hold good for all time and all places, and in their right choice of meter and style, they distinguish themselves from their rivals produced by other cultures. The name Mudumozhi Kanji may mislead one to believe that it consists in a series of ancient sayings on the transitoriness of human life, but as has been stated in Purappurul Venbamalai, it is faithful to the subject of the Thurai called Mudumozhi Kanji, which is to drive home the truths about earthly life as propounded by reputed poets. Palar pugal pulavar panninar theriyum ulagiyal porul mudivu unarak koorindru. All the 5 poems of Purananuru coming under this Thurai, Mudumozhi Kanji, are of that kind only. In all these pieces, reputed poets advise distinguished kings how they should discharge their duties and live their own personal lives without being perturbed by the fact that wealth, youth and life itself are ephemeral. Kudapulaviyanar tells Pandian Nedunjaliyan in one of the poems of Purananuru, if you seek the pleasures of paradise or desire to be a single ruler by breaking the strength of the shoulders of other kings, or long for eternal fame, listen to me as to what you should do now. None can survive without water. They that give food give life. Food it is that makes the body. What is called food consists in water and what the land yields. Men that bring together land and water keep together body and life. The barren land, though large, where men sow but look to the sky for water, won't serve the concerns of kings. O Selian, warrior prince, don't treat this advice with contempt, but act at once. Those that promote farming by building dams will be remembered forever. Those that do not will be as good as dead. It is to be noted that the king is not asked to conduct sacrifices to appease the gods and to reach heaven after death. Though Mudukannan Satanar tells Nalangilli that he has heard that the kings that are sung by poets will reach the heavens by a flying chariot after having done all their task, the king is advised to be kind to all without making any discrimination. On this earth, the moon god wanders, making even the ignorant realize that waxing is true, waning is true, dying is true, and being born is true, when you see the weak ways of the grief-stricken that come to you, whether they are talented or not, may you find it possible to be generous. This is the advice given by the poet to the king. In another poem, the same poet tells the same king that if he cares for himself, he should lead a virtuous and joyous life. The inglorious, blind, the shapeless, the hunchback, the dwarf, the dumb, the deaf, the animal-shaped, the demented, these 8 monstrous births, the wise have said in the past, are of no avail and of no value. I have come here now to say something more on it. The world resembles the dancer's stage. Your wealth, therefore, can help achieve the 3, that is, virtue, prosperity, and pleasure. If it doesn't, it means you don't care for yourself. This is followed by another piece in praise of the same king by the same poet, delineating how he should spend his time and money. Wearing on the tangled hair of the dark head fragrant wreaths of lotus flowers made of melted gold strung together on a fine silver thread, may the bards surround you during your day audience. When they have left, may your chest with drying sandal paste be sought by the arms of your women. In the ever-pleasing courtyard of your palace, the royal drum beating sweetly, may you be untiring in your constant attention to punishing the hard-hearted and rewarding the virtuous. May you never share the view of those that deny the good of the right and the evil of the wrong. May your deeds be urged by compassion, inspiring your people to be generous to those that come to them. May your flesh and blood be extremely festive in this world where people come and go as actors at a festival. May the wealth you have saved sustain your reputation. One of the Puram poems is attributed to a king who on the eve of his death is supposed to have mourned the fate that has overtaken him. He says, when a child died or a piece of flesh was born, they won't be spared a wound by the sword, though they were not yet men, while sitting and suffering like a dog in chains after torture, one lacking true grit has to beg and eat the little food given as a favor by force to quench the stomach's fire. Would they in the world give birth to such beings? That is what the king asks. Such Puram poems, together with the words of lofty wisdom found in Tirukkural and Naladiyar, constitute the tradition upheld by Mudumozhi Kanji, which in its expression of these moral maxims is highly innovative. These are from Mudumozhi Kanji. What are the priorities for the entire mankind living on the earth surrounded by the noisy sea? Number 1, upright life is better than endless reading. Being venerated is better than being loved. Retaining what was learnt is better than learning anew. To be truthful is better than to be generous. To be free from diseases is better than to be young. Fearing blame is better than looking fair. To be learned is better than to be nobly born. Revering the learned is better than learning. Excelling oneself is better than vesting enemies. Not to be poor when old is better than to be rich when young. What are the virtues to be cherished and how do they find external expression? One's noble birth is known by one's compassion. One's compassion is known by one's charity. One's firm friendship is known by one's unfailing help. One's learning is known by one's vision and wisdom. One's forethought is known by one's facing obstacles. One's low birth is known by one's arrogance. One's thievishness is known by one's treachery. One's infirmities are known by one's fumbling for words. One's debilities are known by one's failing intellect. One's heroism is known by one's deeds. What are the qualities and deeds that can be equated with their opposites? These are the answers by Mundurai Arayanar. He says, the wealth of the wicked is the same as poverty. Foolish heroism is the same as effeminate fear. The joy of shameless eating is the same as the pain of hunger. A grudging grant is the same as a rude denial. Unworthy action is the same as stupid inaction. False generosity is the same as mean stinginess. Withdrawing affection is the same as being cruel. Foolish company is the same as loneliness. Contemptible old age is the same as death. Pelf enjoyed by oneself is the same as poverty.